Anti-inflammatory diets, that's gotten to be such a buzzword in the chronic illness community. I'm going to run through 10 different ones that do have a following of people that have had success with them, and just the little differences between each as a simple guide. Number one is the paleo diet. Paleo diet, in short, is a dairy-free, grain-free, whole food diet. Then there's the autoimmune AIP protocol diet. That's a modified paleo diet where you also eliminate eggs, nuts and seeds, nightshade vegetables, and spices, and anything else that could possibly be an allergen. Then you've got the keto diet. The keto diet, the only guideline that qualifies you as keto is your total net carbs, which is total carbohydrates minus fiber, needs to be 20 or less. Long-term keto dieters can go up to 50. And then anywhere from 70 to 85% of your total caloric intake needs to be from fat. The carnivore diet takes it a step further, and the only foods you can eat are meat, eggs, and dairy, maybe a little honey. All of the food you eat comes from the animals. And the macro there, most people eat about 60% of their diet from fat. And a lot of people do zero carb. And the dairy you can eat on the carnivore diet and the keto really just needs to be a low carb dairy, so hard cheeses, heavy cream kind of thing. Then there is the lion diet, which is, they take it even a step further from the carnivore diet, where all you're allowed to eat is beef, salt, and water. And they're actually having good results reversing some crazy autoimmune conditions. Then there's the total extreme opposite, the plant-based diet, and it's just what it sounds like. Majority of what you eat is plant-based. Almost everything you eat comes from a plant. Then there's Anthony Williams, the medical medium. His whole jam is reversing Epstein-Barr virus, which is the same thing as mono. And he's pretty plant-based. He has a big focus on fruits and vegetables, but definitely some fruits, and has certain foods that he really likes. But he also likes to incorporate certain herbs into his diet. Then there is the blood type diet. And I think sometimes people get torn whether they should eat plant-based or eat, maybe a keto meat-based. And when it comes to the blood type diet, they recommend people blood type A, which most people in the United States anyways are blood type A or O. A's do best on a plant-based diet, whereas O's do better on a paleo, meat-based diet. So maybe that can help you guide to choose one way or the other. Then there's the Wahls protocol. She's not so different than the AIP. Her whole thing is 1 plate of colored, mainly veggies, 1 plate of leafy greens, 1 plate of cruciferous, like Brussels sprouts kind of thing, a little bit of meat, and a can of coconut milk. And then her and the autoimmune protocol diet, they want you to eat organ meats, bone broth, wild-caught fish, and something fermented that has probiotics like yogurt or sauerkraut or something like that. And then there is the Stephen Gundry, Dr. Gundry's plant paradox. He's anti-lectin. Lectins are proteins found in food. For example, gluten is a lectin that cause inflammation and are hard to digest in our stomachs. And he actually has a yes or no list you can print off the computer that I would say falls in line with a lot of these anti-inflammatory diets. If you don't feel like following an actual diet, you just want a simple yes and no list, I would recommend his to follow. And yeah, that's it.